Hello there. Welcome to another talk. And this talk is called The Narcissist Simply Cannot Control the Way They Feel, therefore they cannot control their behaviour. And the reason I understand this is because, I didn't always have this path I was on. I had an unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24. But everything before that moment, I was just a copy of my parents. Just a carbon copy of my parents. I was very insecure. I was a bit narcissistic. Very anxious, panicky, nervous, very fearful. And so you could say I've got insight into narcissism because all I'm doing is I'm just tapping into my old self. The old self is still there within me, but I've healed from a lot of those issues. But because it's still there, I can just access it in time and talk about this kind of stuff. A few years ago, I put a talk like this on YouTube, and my dad thought it was about him. But maybe somewhere within him, because if you think someone's about you, then it must be about you. In your head, so it means that you must be that. It's like if someone thinks something, it's what they are also. But back to the topic in hand, the narcissist cannot control the way they feel. So if the narcissist is bringing you down, attacking you, even, talking about you to other people, remember, that is a reflection of how they feel. Because that's how we behave. Human beings, we're all emotional beings. So basically, we dish out to others based on how we feel within us. That's all we can do. We can only dish out what we are and how we feel. Right? So when someone's horrible, for example, like that, do you not think they're going to have guilt? This is one of the things that blocks the sacral chakra, which is the sexual chakra. Because there's shame and guilt, and that's why you get a lot of men with premature you-know-what. Because they're the sacral chakra isn't working properly, along with the other chakras. The thing that holds that area back is guilt and shame. And that comes from being narcissistic, and it's an endless loop, like a feedback loop. And the solution to this is to simply stop being ego-based and stop being fear-based and start being heart-based. This relates to virtue signaling as well. It's the same thing why you get parents and they make their little children wear face nappies. Because virtue signaling is more important. Now that is narcissism right there. Because narcissists, they only have empathy for themselves. So them kind of parents only think about themselves and them showing that they have virtue, rather than their kids' health. When you don't even have to be a doctor to know that if you cover your nose and mouth, you're breathing in your own toxins. And regarding children, they receive a high level of oxygen. So they need oxygen, and if you deprive it, it's not good for them. But this relates to this talk because the reason they do that, these parents, is the same reason why someone's a narcissist. They've got to do that because they've got to get that attention. You see these virtue signalers in the shops and they wipe the hand sanitizer for like 5-10 minutes, looking around them to see if others can see them for ages. And they all do it. I've watched them. these people are narcissists. But they are the worst type because they are covert narcissists. And covert narcissists, I saw someone on the internet recently saying covert narcissists are psychopaths. I suppose some of them are. They're extremely sinister. That's one. I mean, I'm a narcissist. I'll admit it, because the fact I notice a narcissist in someone else, that means I'm narcissistic. But these people believe that they are lovely people, and that they have virtue. You see, and they can't control their behavior. And the reason the narcissist can't control their behavior is because it's insecurity which drives the narcissism. And that is why they feel the need to bring others down. When you're confident, you don't feel the need to bring others down. If you're sure within yourself, you don't feel the need to do those kind of things. What you tend to do is you tend to be more forgiving and non-judgmental when you're more secure within yourself. Narcissists tend to be very, very judgmental. That doesn't mean that I don't think you should have judgment, because I think you do. I think, for example, I think the virtue signalers should be judged, especially when they're doing that to their children. But a narcissistic person, if you mention non-judgmental to them, they won't even consider it. The reason I mention non-judgmental all the time is not because we shouldn't have judgment, we should, but non-judgmental is a good way to practice unconditional love. And if you're non-judgmental, then you're loving unconditionally. But it doesn't mean that I think that you shouldn't judge. When you are being non-judgmental, that enables you to judge correctly, which is discernment, which is the ability to judge correctly. You can't do that if you're letting your feelings get involved. But yeah, these narcissists can't control their behavior. And so, like I say, it's unconscious fears. And these women that you get, and they post on the internet about a narcissistic boyfriend, well, it takes one to know one, love. You attract what you are. They're the biggest narcissist going. And they don't see that, like I'm talking right now, but narcissists, that's what Carl Jung called the shadow self. And the shadow self is the subconscious mind, your unconscious self, and that basically perceives in the external reality what it is. And that is the solution, how to heal your narcissism. If you feel you're trying to control others, I'm not controlling over other people, because I don't feel the need to be. I just don't feel the need for that at all. The thing, because if I was to catch myself being controlling in any way, I would immediately go within myself, because I'd realize that that's an unhealed part within me. That's narcissism. But recently, my dad recently called me controlling. He doesn't live with me and my mum. To my mum, and I didn't. I said that's not true at all. But like I said a moment ago, what people perceive in you is what they are. I defended myself, of course, and it's just not true. But I also tell my parents, not that they listen, but that what they perceive in others is what they are unconsciously themselves. So instead of demonize in right situations, judging if it's righteous. But to be righteous, you've got to first heal yourself. You can't judge correctly if you're not healed yourself. And then you'll be able to control how you feel. Therefore, you'll be able to control your behavior, and then you won't be so narcissistic. But be aware that when you're feeling the need to call people narcissists and you can't control it, you're being narcissistic. You cannot control the way you feel, therefore you can't control your behavior. The solution is to look at it consciously as it's your mirror of you, And that's where you need to heal and capture it like a mirror and meditate upon it. That's mindfulness meditation. I saw a silly, stupid thing today on Google News. This psychiatrist or something tried to say that mindfulness wasn't the be all and end all. Yes, it is. Because mindfulness merely means to be mindful of whatever's going on, whatever trigger's going on. If you are mindful of dis-ease, when you get dis-ease, then you meditate on it. That's mindfulness meditation. You heal everything. Mindfulness and mindfulness meditation is the merging between the heart and the brain. That heals everything, because it's merely heart-based living, and heart-based living is science-based research on how the heart can heal the whole body. And you can heal your body by changing your thoughts and feelings. You can heal your narcissism as well. So that person who said that doesn't know what they're talking about, because everything, if it's a psychologist, he should have known that everything comes from the mind, right? Everything comes from your subconscious mind, and mindfulness is the best way, in my opinion, to heal, because mindfulness simply means to be mindful of your triggers, mindful of your problems, mindful of stuff you should be mindful of. And then you go into the meditation, which is mindfulness meditation. You meditate on the problem, right? Like people say, oh, you just talk all the time. Well, you need to talk about the problem in order to heal it. Not enough people talk, you see. But yeah, mindfulness meditation I use it practically all the time, ever since my spiritual awakening. I didn't know it was called that till years later. But yeah, mindfulness meditation, mindfulness is just being mindful of what's going on within you and meditating upon it, and that's mindfulness meditation, and that is the cure for everything. By being mindful of your triggers, you're going to heal all your triggers, therefore there won't be any triggers anymore. So that is the be all and end all of ascension and healing. And that's how you heal your own inner narcissism. And that's how you can control the way you feel. That's how you can control your behaviour. Instead of being the narcissist that can't control the way they feel or their behaviour. I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research and much, much more, please do check my website. I post there regular at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.